Hey people,
What's going
are
on?
we ready to podcast?
We are.
Ready to podcast.
We are. So what's going on? What's happening?
Oh, it's Sunday.
I just meal prepped a little bit.
You did, you beasted out on the meal prep.
I did. We had some taco salad.
Taco salad.
Leftovers tomorrow. Some ground turkey with egg whites, which I know sounds really weird.
It's good.
Some egg muffins. That's about it, really. That's all I really need.
That's all you really need?
Yeah. Let me just tell you something. In this podcast, we're going to get into some, which we haven't done this in a while. We're going to get into some fitness, some nutrition talk. I hope that doesn't...
We haven't done that for a while.
We really honestly haven't, because I talk that talk. That's my job. So sometimes I get bored talking about it, but I feel like it's needed. It's necessary.
I think it is. I think it's interesting.
We're going in month 2 of the new year.
It's a good time of year to do it.
I think people, here's what's happening at the beginning of February. People who started these crazy fad diets, these ultra restrictive diets, January 1st are fed up.
They're wanting to kill themselves right now.
They're fed up. It's a little far. They're fed up, and they're like, what have I done? This is harder than I thought. I may or may not be getting the results that I wanted. You know, if they are getting the results they wanted, okay, you're excited, but how long can you sustain it? If you're not getting the results that you want, you're frustrated because you've been a month doing this and you're not seeing anything. You want to know why?
Why?
Because fad diets are crap.
Fad diets are crap.
I'm going to go on the record saying fad diets are crap. People try to overcomplicate it. I just did a post today on Instagram. Did you see my post?
I've really been on Instagram today, so I don't know.
Yes, you have. I've seen you on Instagram. Yes, you have. You just don't pay attention to my page.
I do. If I see it, I usually will listen to it. I'll read it. I'll follow it. I'll like it. I'll thumb it.
I posted a quote that says, "Eat clean, don't starve. Lift weights, not just cardio. Live healthy, no fad diets." And I said in my post, here's the formula. That's the formula right there. It's actually that simple. It actually is that simple. The answer isn't starving, a bunch of cardio, or trying to find some magic pill, or figuring out which of these ridiculous fad diets to follow. That's not, the formula's right here. Eat clean. Don't starve yourself. People think they have to starve themselves. Right?
Right, which is ridiculous. You actually store fat, right?
You'll actually be shooting yourself in the foot and be doing yourself no good. We are going to go into more detail on this, but I'm just going over it. Lifting weights, not just cardio. I didn't say no cardio. I said not just cardio. Are you a cardio bunny? If you are, and that you like it, that's fine, but I encourage you to try to lift some weights. And then live healthy. Just eat healthy. And I'm going to really go into this one in a minute. No fad diets. So out of those 3 points, I think the third one is the one that I get so passionate about. Lifting weights too. But just living healthy. No fad diets. And when I say fad diets, I'm getting ready to say some diets out there. And y'all are going to argue with me that these aren't fad diets, but they absolutely 100% are. 100% are fad diets.
100%.
100%. Are you ready?
I am. I don't know.
You've got keto. I know. You've got carnivore. You've got intermittent fasting's on the fence. We can talk more about that later. I'm even going to put another one on the fence would be carb cycling. It's kind of on the fence. It depends on how you treat it. You've got Atkins. You've got Beachbody, you've got paleo, you've got all these diets that are fad diets. There's just so many.
There's a lot of them because they drive a lot of revenue.
There's too many to even.
Well, what? All right. So
name.
would you still consider it a fad diet if you knew somebody that had completely changed their lifestyle and has gone on 3 years of doing paleo or keto or any of those, and that's all they've done for 3 years, and that's their life? Like,
no.
It's not a fad in that sense.
I don't necessarily think that's no. I don't think that is. I think that if you can,
it's the bandwagon jumping is the problem. People think, oh, I can go keto and lose this weight, because I've known people that are like, oh, it's January, I'm gonna do keto for 4 months, get ready for the beach, get in shape, and then after that, I'll slowly go back to eating the way I used to eat.
Yeah, I mean,
which is bad.
I think
body's
that
going to freaking blow up.
people are always on me, not on me, but question me about why are you so against keto? Why are you? And I'm not. I'm not necessarily against keto as a theory. I mean, I am in a way, because it omits one whole food group that your body kind of needs for energy. I mean, when you get into a ketosis state, yes, your body is fully running on fats for fuel. So your body needs two things for fuel, okay? It either needs, or a little bit of both, fats or, carbohydrates. So when I say carbohydrates, I mean the good,
like
complex
Rice Krispies or Cheerios.
No.
Milkshakes.
No.
McDonald's fries.
No. I mean the good complex carbs, like whole grains, sweet potatoes, fruits, within reason. Your vegetables have carbs in them. Oatmeal, sweet potatoes, the good whole grains.
Right.
But keto people will argue with me that your body does not need that. And that's fine. So what I'm saying is, if you go on paleo, if you go on keto,
I don't even personally know what paleo is, but I've heard it a lot.
And that's how you run, and you've stuck with it for years, and you like it, and you feel good on it. I mean, I guess it's fine. As far as like the carnivore diet goes, I know there's some carnivore people out there, and I think that you want to play around with it, and for a while, okay, that's fine, but it's so not sustainable. Who in the world just wants to eat meat and a bunch of butter and heavy cream? I think that sounds disgusting.
It's very hard to sustain from personally doing it.
Jeff personally did it for a month, and it was very effective as far as fat loss goes.
It was great for fat loss, cognitive benefits, things like I never had any like. Once I got through the first week and a half and got through that keto flu, which was awful, and I think I went almost 5 weeks before I quit it, but it was from a cognitive standpoint and from an energy standpoint, it was phenomenal. My energy never slotted. You know what I mean?
I never disagree with you on that. I don't think so. You had a lot of workouts where you were sluggish, because I remember saying, well, it's because you're not eating right.
At the beginning.
Okay. I would like to see if you did it for the long term.
And I'm not necessarily saying that. Sure, I might have had days like that working out. I'm just saying from like, how in the afternoons you're struggling mentally, you're struggling with energy, you're wanting to take a nap, you're like, I never had that kind of issue. But that's because my body was running differently, and I only did it for 4 to 5 weeks, so I didn't do it for an extended period of time. But
that's what I'm saying. Like the studies of these diets, they're called fad diets for a reason. Do you want to know why they're called fad diets? They're called fad diets because they are going to fade. They're going to fade after a while, because we went years and years where we were like low fat, low fat. You want to lose weight? Eat low fat. So everything went low fat, okay? Did people lose weight on low fat? Yeah. And then it was like, ooh, Atkins diet. All, did people lose weight on that? Yeah. And then it switched. Wait a second. Hold on. Instead of going low fat, eat a bunch of fats. Eat a bunch of healthy fats. Oh, yes, the real fat. Get the real fat. That'll make you lose weight. Do you know why keto works? Do you know why paleo works? Do you know why carnivore works? Do you know why carb cycling works? Do you know why intermittent fasting works? Do you want to know why all these things work?
I do.
You already know what I'm going to say,
because I live with you.
Because you're in a caloric deficit.
Correct.
So, if paleo works for you, have at it. If carnivore works for you, have at it. If Weight Watchers works for you, have at it. If carb cycling works for you, great. But all of these things have that one key thing in common. It is science. And it really is that simple. It is that simple.
Right.
Eat a little bit less. You're going to lose weight. You need to gain weight. Eat a little bit more. You like where you are? Eat right where you are. Because when you put yourself in a caloric deficit, you're going to lose weight.
Right.
No matter what way you try to put yourself in a caloric deficit. So, my advice to you is to find what works for Jeff. Find what works for you. Find what works for Angie. Find what the carnivore diet would never work for me. You want to know why? I would be so angry.
Yeah.
Even past that 2 weeks, I like food.
I like
so
food
if you like food, if you like to have some sweet potatoes, if you like to have some rice, if you like to have a cheat day, if you like to live life, then don't say, oh, I'm going to do keto, or oh, I'm going to do carnivore. If you don't like carbs, if you do not like them at all, if you know you could go the rest of your life without eating a carb, then do keto, and that's fine. But most people, I'm saying most people, the majority of the people cannot be on such a high restriction. So what happens is when people start in January and they decide, oh, I need to lose weight, and everybody's talking about keto, so I guess I have to do that. I want to pull my hair out. No, you don't have to. You can.
Sure.
By all means, if you want to try it, you can. But 9 times out of 10, I know it's getting ready to happen to you. You're going to get super excited because it's going to work at first. Because why? Because I just said you're in a caloric deficit. Okay?
Right.
So there you go. You're going to get excited, but then after about month 2, when you go into about March, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, really?
And then you're going to quit. You're going to go back. Your body's going to gain it all back. Right?
Right.
But the thing that people don't understand is because there's people that try. I know somebody that did that. Like you've said, that your body learns. It's evolutionary. Like it learns that your behaviors. It's very smart. So this person would do it from January to March, and first year lost a ton of weight. Well, then he gained all that weight back.
Right.
So then he did it again the next January. It was harder to do it. It didn't drop as fast.
Right.
And then after he quit again, he gained the weight back twice as fast and more.
Right.
And then the third year, he couldn't get it all. Like his body learned, hey, it's time of year.
Right.
He's going to stop eating food. He's going to stop. And then when it ends, it's like you got to store up because he's going to stop eating food in a few months.
Right.
So pack it on. And it's like, that's because you're training, like you've said, like you've always said, if you're not going to do it, it's not a lifestyle change. Don't give up the wine.
Right.
If it's not a lifestyle change, don't give up the bowl of ice cream you have on Friday nights or whatever it is.
I mean, if you're trying to get yourself ready to go to the beach and you want to cut out some things majorly and then until you get done, that's one thing. You can do that. You can cut the corners that way. But as for the long haul, as for the lifestyle change, you cannot do something that you know. And you know what you can do. I mean, like, well, you can do anything you put your mind to, but you know what you're going to want to put your mind to.
You can do anything you want if you're sexy.
What?
You ever heard that?
No.
You can do anything you want when you're sexy, if you're sexy, when you're sexy. I don't know.
I have no idea what
you're
talking about.
It's a jingle. It's a song.
Now you lost my train of thought. Yeah. I'm not doing the TikTok anymore right now. So, what was I saying? I don't know.
You can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. But do you want to do it?
But do you want to do it, right? Yeah, I could do keto for a month, but I don't want to. And I don't have to. Because that's not the only way to lose weight.
No,
Carnivore is not the only way to lose weight.
You can do it
intermittent fasting. I know, but these people who are hardcore keto, hardcore carnivore, hardcore intermittent fasters, they treat it like a religion.
Every group has a obsession meter. Like they have it's like politics too. You got the far left and the far right. You always got a group of people that go way overboard with it.
Yeah.
But those are usually the people that constantly post crazy stuff about it. There's people that do it that you'd never even know did it probably.
Right.
Which is fine, right? They just don't shove it down your throat. They don't post about it because it's just the way they eat.
But make it simple. And that's what I tell all my clients when they sit down with me. And I ask them, do you like to eat? And most people are like, yeah. And I'm like, well, you don't have to stop eating to get in shape and to lose weight. We might have to tweak exactly what you're eating and how much of it you're eating, but I'm not going to sit here and look at somebody who loves ice cream and say, oh, hold on, you can never have it again. Right. You're not going to say that. Right. There's no way. But if you're on keto, if you're on carnivore, you can't.
You can cheat every once in a while, can't you?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the cult leader. I mean, the people who do it.
The cult leader.
No. I think that you can, but it's really, especially in keto.
I know our keto friends, like if they're over here and we're watching fights and stuff, and like he'll cheat, and then he'll get back on it in a day or two.
But you're talking about people who do it pretty much for a lifestyle, so they're very trained at it.
True.
In fact, like I've told you before.
And they're not cheating every week.
Like I told you before, if one of my clients were to come to me and say, Angie, but I really, really, really want to do keto, I would actually send them to them for coaching. because they know way more about it than even I do. You know what I'm saying? But what my point is that I tell my people, you don't have to give it up. You just have to put yourself in a caloric deficit, okay? So let's say 6 days out of the week, no, you can't have your ice cream. Factor it in for once a week. Maybe factor it in for twice a week. But maybe that day you're going to have to eat a little bit less.
Right. You eat 5,000 calories a day now. You need to eat less than that to lose weight.
Okay, but I'm glad you said that. Here's the thing. If somebody's eating, let's use that number. That's a big number.
I know. I wanted to go big.
Let's say somebody does say, okay, realistically, Angie, I eat 5,000 calories a day. First of all, that's too much for most people depending on your goals, okay? Depending on your goals, depending on the size that you are, okay? But say they do. They're eating 5,000 calories. Now, to put them in a caloric deficit, one might think you need to put them on a 2,000 calorie diet. No. That's too much too fast. You may want to work down to that, but when you go into a caloric deficit, you have to figure out what your calories are now and what your body is doing with those calories. Meaning, track your calories for 4 or 5 days, okay?
And don't leave out the sweet tea.
Don't leave out the sweet tea. Jeff made a good point. Don't leave out the liquid. Don't leave out the wine.
Huge source.
Don't leave out this Corona Seltzer that I'm drinking now. This Corona Seltzer has 90 calories. Those calories need to be factored in for sure.
Yeah.
If you have
people
juice,
don't count what they drink a lot of times.
Right. Whatever you're putting in your coffee, count every single calorie for about 4 days. Okay, say you come to, let's just go 3,000. Okay, say you're like, wow, I'm consuming 3,000 calories. Okay, what's your body doing? Are you consistently, like, is the scale going up? Do you feel like your clothes aren't fitting right? Do you feel bloated? Do you feel like you're not where you need to be? You do? Okay, so let's put yourself in a caloric deficit to lose some fat, to lose some weight. What does that mean from 3,000 calories? That does not mean to dip down to 1,200. That's ridiculous and absurd.
Well, you'll break yourself, right? I mean,
you put yourself in a 200 to 300 caloric deficit first.
Right. See how your body reacts?
Yeah. You know how long I want you to do that for? Not a day.
6 days.
Not 2 days. No. About 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Do that for 2 weeks. So instead of consuming 3,000, do about 2,700 to 2,800. Okay? And I'm not even talking about changing up your food right now. I'm talking all calories, okay? Eat what you're eating, but eat 2,700 calories worth of it versus the 3,000. Let's see what happens. In 2 weeks, you come back and you're like, oh, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better, but not as much as I feel like I should. Okay, so let's try 2,600. And then let's do this. Let's take out some of your bad stuff. Let's cut your portions in half. You can put yourself in a caloric deficit just by cutting your portions in half, but sometimes that's even too much at first. Because if you're eating 3,000 calories and you literally cut everything in half, you're down to 15. So it's a little bit almost too much. So it's almost like cut your lunch and your dinner portions in half.
Right.
There's just so many ways to go about it than trying to find a magic pill. Oh my gosh, I work at GNC, right? And as well. And people come in and they're like, well, I shouldn't talk like that because that's really not nice. They come in and they say, well, I want to, what kind of pills do you have to make me lose weight? And I just want to literally pull my hair out.
Just sell them a bunch of diet pills?
And then here's where I take them. We don't have diet pills.
Oh, man, that's a shame.
And that's what I tell them. We do not have diet pills.
Right.
We have thermogenics. We have fat burners.
Nice.
And they work, but you have to work. So taking that thermogenic, taking that fat burner does not mean that you pop a pill, you sit on your couch with your beer, and you watch football, and I'm taking a fat burner, man. It's burning.
What about a light beer?
No. You have to make some changes still, like I'm talking about. So, yes, I take a fat burner right now. I burn about 200 to 300 calories more taking my fat burner than if I don't. But I'm still eating good, and I'm still working out like a beast.
Right.
So I'm doing my work. If you put your work in, the fat burner will work. So people come like, oh, I took that for 30 days. It didn't do nothing. What did you do?
Right.
What do you mean, what did I do? Here I am talking like that.
It's not a magic pill.
What do you mean, what did I do? Well, what did you do in those 30 days when you popped that pill?
What did you change?
What did you change? Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll go to work. I don't have time. I don't know what to tell you then. Because until you put away that bullshit excuse if you don't have time, nothing's going to happen. You can't expect change by popping a pill unless you go get some crazy... I'm sure there are pills out there where that can happen, but no, we all know...
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous for your body. It's
I
dangerous.
think it's good though I think it's good like when I've watched you do it and how you consult and how you do it. You take people and you say, "Whoa, let's learn you a little bit." I think that's solid integrity, because I feel like trainers could say, "We can get you in shape. You need to cut your calories from 3,000 to 1,800, and you're going to kill it." And we're going and they're going to have 1 out of 6 people do that, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to publicize that one, mm-hmm. and then what I feel like they're going to say about the other 5 is, it's on them. I showed them how to do it, mm-hmm. and they can't tough it out. Right. But I like the fact that you say, "Hey, this isn't a freaking sprint. Like, let's figure you out and what works for you. And then if we get you down to 1,800 eventually, because we need to,
if that's where they need to be,
great. But we need to work our way to the goal.
If that's where they need to be,
which is huge, and it takes time. It's not a freaking easy thing. If it is, it's not going to work.
Well, and everybody thinks that there's this magic amount of calories that you should be eating, and that's another question I get a lot. How many calories should I be eating? Like, Sandy eats 1,500 calories. Well, I don't know anything about Sandy. Sandy could have a sedentary job where she does nothing and she doesn't work out. 1,500 calories may be all that she needs.
And Sandy could be just telling you she's eating 1,500.
Well, but I'm just saying, like, everybody, well, true, but everybody needs a different amount of calories. I need a different amount of calories than you do. I need a different amount of calories than somebody my own age, my own height, but different activity levels. I'm extremely active. I'm extremely active. So I probably consume about 1,600 to 1,800 calories a day. You take me, Angie, years ago when I was a paralegal, I don't need 1,600 to 1,800 calories a day. We're talking 12 to 14 because I did nothing.
Working out.
Exactly. I sat at a desk all day. Right. I came home. I did nothing.
You're doing the average activity that burns the normal stuff.
I'm talking taking the elevator, not the stairs. I'm talking, Right. So 12 to 1,400 calories for someone of my height, of my size, is okay. And I even say 1,200 is too little for almost anybody. But if you're sedentary, meaning you do nothing.
Also depends on probably what you eat and drink too.
It depends on what you eat and drink.
But then it
also has to change almost on a daily basis. So say on my rest day, on Saturdays, I don't necessarily need to consume my 1,800 calories. That's where I need to stay around 15 or 16 because I don't really do much. Okay, so it has to change. And most people don't know this. Most people think there's a magic number of calories to eat.
That's because everything's supposed to be easy. Right? Everything in America, we're just supposed to be like, it's easy. But the fact is most people struggle with getting to the type of shape they want to be in.
And so there's a formula to figure everything out. I'm not going to give her the formula now because I'm not going to give away free info.
No, it's your job. You need to have people consult you.
If you're really serious about it, you need to consult with a personal trainer. Don't get on Instagram, and this is another thing I get on my high horse about. Don't get on Instagram and try to find this 8-week quick fix that you buy a program and you never talk to a person. You click a button, you put it in your cart, and you buy it, and you're supposed to execute it. I don't care if it gives you detailed video on how to do the exercise. That's wonderful. That's great. I warn you, don't buy anything from any trainer on Instagram unless they say, I offer a consultation. I need to sit down with you and talk. Now, I don't care if they ask you to pay for the consultation. That's fine if that's their deal. Mine are free. Like, I want to sit down and talk with you. And like you just said, and get to know you. What are your hang-ups? What have you tried before that didn't work? Why didn't it work? And there's these questions that I ask that I can really get inside a person and say, okay, this person cannot be on a highly restrictive diet. Or I know a personality that says, okay, I think they can actually handle, like, they've had enough. They're done and ready, and here we go. Like, I can tell that. I've been doing this for so long. But it takes sitting down and asking these key questions and like talking to people, and even in the first one you don't know, and that's why I try to work with them along the way, and you may have to tweak things.
Plus you got a certification nutrition, which is helpful, and nobody knows what people are going through. People could have 4 kids and be a newly single parent.
Right.
It could be anything.
Well,
and
absolutely.
You don't know their stresses.
Good
you just
point.
say they look fine to me, give them that plan, and you work the plan. But you've got to be able to say no. Just because your husband thinks you should be able to do this, what's going on in your life, because that doesn't mean it's right.
You make a good point, because Mr. or Mrs. Trainer on Instagram that you don't talk to doesn't understand that maybe you have 4 kids and one plays soccer and one plays baseball and one does dance and the other has piano lesson, and you're everywhere on Monday night, and you don't have time to make a dinner. You literally don't. So you have to go through McDonald's. That trainer hasn't prepared you on what to eat at McDonald's. I will. If you tell me that, you say, Angie, listen, I'm telling you the truth. I go here, 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 and here. On Mondays, tell me what I could eat at fast food restaurants. If you don't talk to a person, they're not going to tell you that. They're going to be like, oh, well, then you just aren't cut out for it. You have to do this. You have to meal prep. You have to do this. No, you don't. You have to be a realist. Does it help? Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people can't.
It absolutely helps. Being prepared is key. But I'm a realist, and I guess this is where me as a trainer, sometimes other personal trainers might not agree with me. But I am a realist. I came from that place. I came from that place of being overweight. I came from that place of being a mom who thought she was too busy to do anything. I came from that place of feeling bad about myself and feeling like I couldn't do it. But I did do it. And you don't have to do it the extreme way. You don't have to do keto. You don't have to do carnivore. You don't have to do paleo. You don't have to do any of these crazy things. You have to do what works for you and what you know you can stick with. And you can do it. If I did it, by all means, I was somebody who loved food more than...
You ate dessert after every meal.
I ate dessert after every meal. So you can do it. But you don't have to use a pill. And you don't have to go on one of these extreme restrictive plans. Now, does my way take a little longer? Yeah, it might. But guess what?
It might not.
It might take a little longer.
Because you drive, the person drives, which it could be like you. Like, it might have taken you a little longer. It took you a while to get to the nutrition part when you started.
Oh, because I was stubborn as all get out.
Because you started working out and you got in shape and then hit that wall, and bam, you were that person that was like, I'm not going to stop eating this. I'm not going to not have my this. I deserve this. I get that,
Right.
But then you intrinsically decided, I want to try and see if I can do. But you drove that boat. You're the one that decided, I want to get over the hump. But you were pushed to that.
I was, because I had a very good personal trainer.
Right.
And I say this all the time in my IGTV videos. If you don't follow me on Instagram and you want to, it's Angie Fitco. Anyway, I do a lot of Instagram videos. And I always say when I'm doing these kind of rants like this, that I really wish I could find him. Because he is the sole reason I feel like that I got out of that way of thinking and think the way that I do now, because he trained me in the way that I kind of mold the way that I do things, because I was the worst client. I came in, I was like, Bruce, listen, I'll do any workout you want to, because I can work out hardcore. At the time I didn't like to, but I could.
Like puking.
I could. But I'm going to tell you something, Bruce, I'm not giving up my pizza, so screw you, and I'm not giving up my candy. I basically said that. And you know what he said to me? Okay.
Right.
I was like, my jaw dropped, because I've talked to personal trainers before. They're like, well, then I don't know what to tell you. No, I know what to tell you. Okay is what I'll tell you. We're going to work through this.
We're going to
do your
what
workouts,
you can do.
And here's what I tell my people who are hardcore like that. If I have somebody that comes up to me that loves to eat and is hardcore like that, I say, that's fine. Do my workouts. Give me a month of just working. Don't even think about changing anything you're eating right now. But do my workouts and do them for a month, and let's see what happens. It's like magic. They do these workouts and they lose a little bit, as much as they would have if they would have pulled the meals in. Heck no. They would have probably lost double.
No, it's much more with
but you have to treat some people like you had to treat me. Okay, so you feel good, right? Because you've been working out and you've been doing these workouts. Yeah. How can I do? Okay, so let's take your food and then we talk about portion control. You don't go right ahead saying, "Get your pantry, put all this in here. Let's get." It's not like that. Okay, let's talk about portions.
Right.
Okay, you like pizza. When you sit down and have pizza, how many pieces do you have? 5? Okay, how can we cut it to 3 for a while? Okay, instead of eating that whole cheeseburger from Red Robin, which is bigger than freaking the earth, I feel like, can you cut that in half? Instead of eating the whole order of fries, can you eat half of that order? Instead of 2 pancakes, let's just do 1. Don't take it. And then they do that for a while. Now, this is a process. It's taking some time.
Right, yeah. Sure.
Then they come back, they're like, oh my gosh, look how many inches I've lost. Look how much fat I've lost. Okay, are you ready to take it a little further? Okay, yeah. What can I do next? Okay, now let's talk about what you should be eating, which are proteins, healthy fats, complex carbs, and fruits. Now, can we take 3 days out of your week and you'll give me to eat that food? Just 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Only eat what's on this sheet, and I give you, and it's healthy foods. Then the other days, eat the half portions of what you normally eat. They do that for a while. They see it. Oh, I want to do more. Okay, how about you just eat bad once a week? Once a week. Or how about you eat good all day and just maybe have one little cheat, depending on their personality. Some people cheat in a day and it's like a slippery slope, like all day they want to eat like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
again, that's where you try to figure out their personality. Some people come to me and say, okay, I have to get rid of it all because if I have a cheat day, it puts me down a slippery slope. If my cheat day's on Friday and I start eating bad Friday, I'm still eating bad Sunday. Then maybe we need to adjust something, and maybe you need to have a little bit every day so you don't do that. There's just so many different ways. So that's why I say I have to talk to you.
You need somebody.
Right?
Yeah, if you want me to go, you have to in most things. I don't know why it's any different here. It's because people don't want to be held accountable.
Right. I'm just sitting here wanting to encourage somebody who's scrolling on Instagram every freaking day looking for the answer. And every answer that they feel like they see, they dread. Ugh. I mean, I guess keto might work, but oh my gosh. I mean, like, I love whatever that I can't have on keto. Oh, I mean, I guess intermittent fasting works, but God, I mean, I like cream in my coffee, or I like a little bit of Splenda in my coffee. If you have that feeling, then that plan's probably not for you. But I promise you, you don't have to have that feeling. You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to.
Absolutely not.
Am I saying that you can still eat all the bad foods and lose weight? Not necessarily. I mean, there's going to be sacrifices, obviously.
No, I was getting ready to say you're
Obviously.
gonna have that feeling. It's just not going to be all the time.
But it's not going to be as, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't give something up. It's just you don't have to change everything.
And listen, and I don't want to be sitting here thinking that like the people who are on keto. I'm not discouraging you. If you want to try it, if you want to try carnivore, by all means, try it. I'm just going to be sitting here say I told you so whenever you come back off of it. I'm sorry. I feel very strongly about it. You know, that's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. Anything that's overly restrictive is really not good in the long run. You know?
Yeah.
It's really not. It's not good mentality, and it's not good. I mean, it's just not good all over.
Right.
You need all of the food groups, all of the proteins, healthy fats, complex carbs, fruits, vegetables. Most people just do. Mm-hmm. I'll have people that debate me on that, and that's fine. We can debate it. That's totally fine. But all I'm saying is I've been there looking for the right answer, and the answer wasn't as hard as I was making it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not as hard as you're making it. You need to move more, and you need to eat a little bit less. Start there. Just start there.
Well, it will work. There's no doubt it's science.
Well, it's science, and that's what I try to tell people. It's like...
You may hit a wall eventually, but...
Well, and that's when you have to make adjustments, right?
Right.
But, one thing that, people do is when they hear, like I just said a minute ago, caloric deficit, they say, oh, I got to be way low. And they go from 2,000 calories, down to 1,200. Are they going to lose weight? Well, yeah, because they're putting themselves in a major deficit. But what's going to happen after 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 months of eating 1,200 calories? They're going to hit a wall, and they're not going to lose anymore. And they're going to say, what in the world? What am I doing wrong? Well, I guess I need to eat even less. And so they eat 1,000 calories. They do that for a while. They lose a little bit more. And they're like, well, I'm stuck. You're going to get stuck. You're going to set that as a set point. That's why you have to be very, very careful on going too low. That's why you need guidance. If you don't know what you're doing, ask somebody who does, because you really can put yourself in a point of being... I had a client who did that, and she was down to 1,000 calories. We tracked her calories for 2 weeks. She was eating 1,000 calories, and she was stuck. And I'm like... You're not going to like what I'm getting ready to tell you, but we have to reverse diet. And she's like, what the heck is that? I'm like, we got to up your She freaked out. It is so hard to reverse diet. It's harder to reverse diet than it is to do it the other way.
Right.
Because you cannot get your calories at that set point, because if you go, that's not healthy.
No.
And anybody that says that it's okay to have 1,000 calories, and she said her doctor said it was okay, and I would like to know who that doctor is, because I really want to report him, because that's disgusting. That's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 1,000
Now,
calories.
depending on if you've had gastric bypass, if you've had the sleeve, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to anybody right now who's had gastric bypass, who's had the sleeve, who's had any kind of surgery, because your doctor knows about that. That's a doctor thing. Maybe that's your case. But if you're a healthy individual, not saying you're not healthy, but if you've never had that surgery, if you've never had that procedure, if you're just someone trying to lose weight, don't eat that few of calories. That's insane in the membrane. Anyway, you get me rambling on. I could talk forever on it because it's what I do all day. And I get very passionate and very frustrated because when anybody says they're going to leave out a whole food group, it makes me want to hit my head against the wall. You know what I mean? It's just like it makes me want to, I'm like, why? Why are you going to do that? I don't know.
People.
But you know what? So Jeff said in Aldi today, I think he was right on my cage. He's like, I think I'm gonna try the carnivore. Maybe I'm just gonna eat meat.
That's not how I sound.
Yeah, it is how you sound. You don't know how you sound.
I don't sound like that.
I think I'm gonna eat meat. And I was like, he's like, I really need to shred up. I really want to get shredded, so I think I'm gonna do carnivore. I was like, okay, well, you can get shredded eating food. When I reminded him, am I shredded right now? No. I mean, I have some muscle, but I'm not shredded because I'm not paying attention, really. I'm doing intuitive eating right now, really. It's like, do I want to eat that? Most of the time, it's nothing bad, but I'm like, okay, I'll eat whatever now. You know what I mean? I'm kind of going on that. I'm not paying attention, I guess. I'm not eating bad, but I'm definitely not paying attention to my calories. And I've gone through some hard times and my body's doing weird things. But anyway, if I hone it in and I pay attention to my calories and I be sure I'm in a deficit, I got shredded too. And I got shredded on eating sweet potatoes and almonds and protein. And I know, but you think that's the only way, and it got on my nerve.
I never said it's the only way. I know that I've said a million times, you can do anything you want if it's a caloric deficit. I'm just saying what's easier and what's...
Why? How is that easier? How is it easier to chaw on a bunch of fat and meat? How is that easier? Why don't you? You won't even follow. Like, just let me give you a meal plan and you follow it, but you won't follow it. You know why? It is easy for you because all you have to do is cook meat and eat it.
That's my point. Is I get into that stuff and I want to keep eating other stuff. You know what I mean? It's like I once it just shuts off all like desire for food, really.
But it's good food.
I'm saying when I did that one time, it like cut off. I didn't have any like cravings really. I just ate my food and then I was done, and like I just moved on. I didn't think I really would.
That sounds miserable.
It wasn't. I mean, once I got used to it, it's just a lot of ribeyes.
You know what? I say do you, and I'll do me, and we'll both get shredded, and I will have way more fun.
I don't know if I'll get shredded.
I'll have way more fun because I will be able to have wine. I will be able to have.
I'll let you write me a plan. And
you won't do it. We've done this before, and you don't follow it. You don't take your stuff. You don't meal prep. You think I'm going to write you a plan and prep all your food? I have barely enough time to do my stuff.
I can prep food too.
But will you take it and eat it when you're supposed to? I had you. No, you can't even take this.
You know what?
I had it scheduled. Remember, this is when you were bulking, though.
But I did it.
But you did it.
I bulked up. I did good with that.
But you were eating
it
like 4,000 calories.
As hell.
It's hard to eat that.
That is so much harder than taking food out.
Isn't it?
God, when I was eating at like 8 and then again at 9:30 or 10 in the morning, I was like, oh. And then I'd eat again at 11:30 or 12 and then at 2.
It's hard to put on.
Oh, freak, I don't want to go heat this up.
But if you want to put on size,
it worked.
This whole podcast, we talked about losing weight. Guys and girls, if you want to put on muscle, you have to eat. You have to be in a slight caloric surplus. Now, don't take it to, don't be like, all right, well, I'm eating 2,000 calories, so surplus, I'm going to eat 5,000. No. 200 or 300 calorie surplus.
And you had me doing it clean, so it was very difficult.
A lot of these guys in the gym who are in their 20s will dirty bulk, and that's what we call it, dirty bulk, and they'll eat Big Macs and fries and stuff. Does it work? Yeah, I mean, it kind of does if you're at a certain age, but when you get up into the 40s, you shouldn't be dirty bulking. You need a clean bulk, meaning you increase your calories by 2, 3, 4, maybe 400, depending on what you're wanting and who you are, and you eat the good, clean, whole foods. Again, proteins, healthy fats, complex carbs, fruits, that kind of stuff.
Right.
With an occasional treat. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, he did that, and I had it in his alarm exactly when to eat and exactly what to eat, and it worked. You bulked up.
Oh God, yeah, it worked.
So
I got up to the most I've ever weighed in my life, and it wasn't fat.
It's hard for me
like 198.
to write you a meal plan and a workout plan. It's hard because when I live with you and you're not following it, it comes across as like a harp or a griping. Like you didn't eat like I do it in the mornings all the time. Like you'll get up if you eat breakfast and you like eat a bowl of oatmeal, and I'm like, that's fine, but where's your protein? You got to have some protein in the mornings. And you're like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, put some eggs with you as a man need about 3 eggs with that. And it's fine to have oatmeal in the morning, but you need some protein. In every single meal, practically, you need protein. You don't do that.
You're right, I don't.
You don't do that.
I'm lazy.
Yeah.
My food.
And so if I get on you about it, it comes across as like I don't want to be that it's really hard to work with to like train your husband, because it comes across like there's this line of like, you're a naggy wife. No, you asked me to do this. You know what I mean? I don't care what you do or what you eat.
Right.
But if you tell me Angie, write me a plan and hold me to it. I'm going to, but then it's weird because it comes across as like, oh my God. And I don't want to have that animosity towards each other. So maybe you should consult another trainer.
Nah.
Maybe find one that'll be like, oh, carnivore's great. Because you're not going to find it here.
Nah, I'm not looking for it here. I was just, it just was just thinking through things, what to do for.
I'm telling you what to do.
Possibly,
Why won't you listen?
Because you're the one that said when I did it before, yeah, you could do this anytime, if you want to get like.
I that's fine. I said that at the beginning of this podcast. There's so many things you can do if you want to quickly lean down to go to the beach, to get your wedding or whatever. I mean, I do a 21-day fix too, but even that 21-day fix warned you. It says, do not do this for more than 21 days. Right. It's not good. And I think that, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a doctor. And I'm sure there's doctors out there that are proponents of all these fad diets, and that's fine.
I doubt it.
But I just don't know why you can't just do it, like, put yourself, like, eat less and do more cardio and lift more. Like, work out harder and eat less. You'll feel great.
But I want to bulk and lean at the same time.
Oh, don't even get me onto this. I'm not talking about that right now. Listen, people, you can't lean and
I know that's your pet
bulk
peeve.
at the same time. It's just, it's not possible. So I have to go put my meal prep in the refrigerator, so I have to go.
All right. This was fun.
Thanks for listening. If you need more of my help, you can find me on our Instagram, but I prefer you look for me on my Instagram, which is Angie Faco.
And it's in the bio. It's in
it's
in the description.
And it's a free consultation. I don't even know how to. I'm not even good at sales. It's just like we chit chat.
You chit chat, and then you decide if you.
And then you decide if you want to go further. If you don't, then that's great.
And she won't get mad at you like she does me. Like.
Oh, I might. If you hire me as your trainer, here's my philosophy. If I don't make you mad at least every other week, then I'm not doing my job. If you don't roll your eyes at me, if you don't flip me off, if you don't curse at me, then I'm probably not doing my job.
That's a good point.
So there you go.
All right. Well, that was fun.
Peace out.